It is the first game of the new year for Brazil, and they hope to have finally put the disappointment of the World Cup behind them. Now new coach Dunga looks to build a team in his vision, and that process begins today against a Portuguese side where emotions will be running high for Luis Felipe Scolari. In order to beat his native land, he will look for the exciting Cristiano Ronaldo to apply the pressure. It is Brazil and Portugal from England. The remainder as they prepare to meet right after we are finished. As here comes Brazil looking for the most part unchanged. Except for these two who will be coming in, including Adriano, who will get a run here. We expected him to start as well. Looks like Luis Sao may be joining him. Two changes here. Paulo Ferreira will be the change for Portugal, so a modest amount of changes that they have. Sometimes it does go off the deep end. Caneda, who picked up a bit of an injury, will be pulled out. In comes Paulo Ferreira.
I think that's a good move as well. I think Caneda had a great first half. He did well holding. Miguel was the defender that really got into the attack, and got forward. So he's got to be happy with the defenders. This will be interesting to see Adriano because he moves at a different tempo than the other forwards that have been in. But he's going to position himself into the final third to see if at some point Brazil looks to put in Diego as well.
We're at the Emirates Stadium. Changes for both teams. For Brazil, Adriano comes in for Rafael Sobis. Zhao comes in for Juan. And Paulo Ferreira comes in for Marco Caneda for Portugal. The 24-year-old, his 40th cap for Brazil. He already has 27 goals. Let's see if he can add to that in these 45 minutes ahead. Scoreless after the first half. Lucio for Gilberto Silva. Gilberto Silva, his 50th cap for Brazil. Congratulations to him. And that back line slightly changed. There's Luizão, the man who comes in. Will play on that left side. Almost a straight change for Juan. Maicon, after his tremendous play in the first half, also remains. Brazil, the defending Copa America champions, have that competition to look forward to. That'll be June, July. Of course, Portugal preparing for qualifiers. Quaresma, another tepid start to the second half in comparison to what we saw earlier.
There's good football right here from Quaresma. You see how he can link up with other players. He has good vision. Very confident on the ball.
That's it. Across the goal mouth.
And this is the type of attack you're looking for to keep the defenders of Brazil coming out. That way you can get the little combination. See Deco, just a nice little slip-through pass. Feints just to disbalance the defender right here. Whoop, little tunnel. Puts an apron on Ilano. Not bad.
Run here by Adriano, storming through the midfield. Gilberto. And that works out rather nicely for Portugal. Paulo Ferreira, the Chelsea defender.
He's saying, tell me, guys, tell me. You see him with his hand saying, talk to me. I don't know that somebody's behind me. But what you get is a great attack from Brazil because Adriano gives a different dimension to this team when he can hold the ball the way he did. He's pushing off players, has excellent technique on the first touch. He's definitely back in form. And that's why Dunga called him in.
Cleared here by Ricardo. Still with Sporting. Good race developing in Portugal. Porto the leaders. Quaresma. Fresh legs for Ferreira as he flew in there. Swept away by Lucio. All right, now in the second half, we've seen some changes, Christopher, as Portugal push forward. Maybe we talk about them. What can we expect from them in order to spice things up in the second half and grab this game?
Well, I think Portugal actually played almost a perfect first half. They played really well without getting a goal, and keep Deco involved, keep maintaining, establishing that rhythm that they had, a little geometric passing in transition in the midfield. Try to get Cristiano Ronaldo a little bit more movement from other parts of the field, maybe the left side like we saw, or in the middle. And like we said, allow Deco to orchestrate.
Deco doing just that, looking for Cristiano Ronaldo, who's making that near post run. Headed away by Gilberto. Corner kick, Portugal.
You see right here all the movements to the near post. Cristiano Ronaldo was right there.
See, that one deflected, and it's offside.
That is the way you want to respond. When you come out in the second half in the first 5 minutes, you come back out, you start insisting, you put the other team back on their heels. You're starting to take control very early on, Portugal. For Brazil, I think the only adjustments, I think they played a good first half. They're very good. We see that the way that they're playing, they have a big presence in the defensive midfield spot in countering through Kaká. They just need a little better variation in combining with him in the area. Maybe you'll get that through Adriano.
And a nice storming run by Kaká. No foul. Portugal fortifying that back line. Deco. He's really had an inspiring match with so much at hand. Certainly he's had a lot to talk about with the press. He's not one that really likes to share that information too much. Adriano whips it across. Fregi. Gilberto.
Not bad. Nice little movement right there from Fregi. Gilberto was too narrow for me. I think that he should have been a little bit wider. That would allow the player to come back and support if they wanted to have a little triangle into the area.
Kaká has come off the boil a bit.
You know, two teammates right there, Jamilson and Deco. It's almost as if Deco was reading the movement before he made it.
There's familiarity out there amongst both nations. Helton, Maicon, Elano. Gilberto back out to Fregi. Lining it up. Gilberto Silva blocked by Ricardo Carvalho. Kaká turned the corner, bumped by Miguel, walks away like business as usual. No foul.
It is much better from Brazil right here. You see that they're freezing Portugal. Kaká has that speed to get behind them. He was trying to pull it down just with a deadly touch. Miguel does well to get in front of him, but I like the attack earlier from Brazil. Very good combination, nice movement. Ole.
A little Harlem Globetrotter stuff from Cristiano Ronaldo. Stepping in is Lucio. Out of the reach of Edmilson.
There's that imprecision right there in the midfield. They have the numbers around the ball, and they're doing well to swarm Brazil, but a little bit of imprecision when they're touching to the correct foot. Now how the body's orientated to another player right there, that was just clearly off. They're giving possession away.
Miguel. Portugal involved in Group A in the European qualifiers, currently in 4th place with 7 points out of 4 games. Finland lead the group, 11 points. Serbia and Poland, 10 points apiece. Then you have Portugal and Belgium at 7 points, so quite a tough group, not because there's one very good nation, although Portugal can be considered that, but 2 or 3, if not 4 nations that have a chance of winning the group. Ronaldo, the spin. Advantage played there as Martin Atkinson, our official, was about to blow the whistle. Paulo Ferreira.
What a movement. As if he was slowing down in slow motion for himself.
And we'll see it again.
There's right here a little bit of a pause. Mamma mia.
Oh. Unbelievable talent. Groundbreaking with some of those moves, as we said earlier in the first half. Ronaldo wins it back. Deco needs some movement at the top. Quaresma. Ferreira. Portugal have their next European qualifiers in March. First they play Belgium at home on March the 24th. Then they travel to Serbia on March the 28th. They'll need to get 4 points out of those 2 at the very least, or they will be in major peril, even at this early stage.
And you can see the difference of the sharpness of Adriano compared to how he played in the World Cup. He's much more quicker, much more explosive. When he's taking off with the ball is very close to his foot, and he looks a little thinner as well.
His former coach, Jose Mourinho, in the stands, led Deco to triumphs in both UEFA Cup and Champions League. And they've both gone to, I guess you could say, greener pastures since. Deco gets the ball back from Ronaldo, tries to weave around Gilberto Silva. Both attacks are a little bit more honest in the second half.
You know, Fred's got an incredible work rate, but one of the things another quality that he possesses is the ability to be able to keep his balance and hold players off the ball, like right there. That's very important. Comes back into a deep position right there. Keeps his balance. Miguel is very strong and doesn't give away the ball.
May I speak to Jose, please?
Yes.
There's 10 rows in front of him. Throw the peanuts at him. Yes. Did you see that? Incredible. Incredible. I will see you at Nathan's later. Oh, it was almost... we almost had him. Deco. Thiago. Helder Postiga.
Great ball.
Helder Postiga, by the way, a pretty good forward, but he may get lost in the speed from the midfielders around him. What a great attack around the lone striker. One of the best midfields, not the best, in world football today. Speaking of Portugal, long-range effort, starts to dip. Helton keeps it in front of him. Hit by Helder Postiga, right on cue.
That's good. Quick turn right here. See Postiga. Nice strike with the instep. You see Thiago was running into the space he wanted, but it's not bad. I like the way that they're insisting. They're keeping the momentum and the possession. It seems difficult sometimes for Portugal, as nice as they play. I love the way that they play. They need to get into the final third.
Cristiano Ronaldo. Postiga. Miguel! Ronaldo heads it! Touched away by Elano. Oh, down goes Thiago. Plenty of contact there. Nothing awarded. Kaká switches it. It's behind his target. A rare errant ball there from the Brazil number 10, but offside here by Postiga.
Good idea, and things are starting to open up for Portugal. You see the way that they're moving. They're getting the deep midfield players coming into the area in wide positions. Quaresma as well is playing very far out on the left, and that's opening up the opportunity for Thiago to come through the middle. Also, we're seeing Cristiano Ronaldo get much more central.
Offside here on Fregi.
And we had seen that early in the first part of the first half, where Scolari was talking to him and saying, just don't be, in a standard place on the right side, going to the left, going to the middle. I think that's one of the things that they're trying to modify in the second half.
Dunga. His face certainly says a lot. He was a defensive midfielder, holding things together. Cristiano Ronaldo, and maybe that's where Brazil may need its most help, as the attacking options are many. Adriano has really turned it on recently for Inter. Things were getting a little bit worrisome for him personally.
And the last sequence, we see just the defenders, 4 or 5 Brazilians, bypassing the midfield instead of exiting out through combination play and just going right to Adriano because he's so good at holding the ball. And then they don't get that final connection with the other forwards.
Deco. Thiago makes a run. Gets it in behind the midfield defense. Deflected by Lucio. But it goes to Cristiano Ronaldo. Has he gotten his touches tonight? All the way to the byline. Stopped in the corner by Luizão. Plays at Benfica.
Yeah, a little too direct. And just vertical passing right from the midfield up to the forwards. This is one I think, we saw the face of Dunga. Portugal starting to have their way. They're definitely in control. They're playing good football. They're finding a good rhythm. This is when Dunga, for me, I think you want to put in a player like Diego. Because he's a player that can get control of the game, start orchestrating, similar to how Deco's playing for Portugal.
Ricardo Carvalho. Cristiano Ronaldo. Quaresma. Miguel involved in the attack. At the hour mark, still scoreless here at the Emirates.
Well done.
Paulo Ferreira. Petit. Deco. They back off of him. Deco.
There's better football from Portugal. Now they're starting to find the little spots into the midfield, playing from side to side like an accordion. Then they're looking for their playmaker. Deco just evades 3 players, gets into the spot. But I like the change of play.
And that's it for Deco. He will be the second player pulled off by Luis Felipe Scolari. Hugo Viana. One of the bright shining lights of recent years coming out of Portuguese soccer.
Nice play. And it's a good performance from Deco tonight. You see, very similar to how he's playing at Barcelona. Comfortable on the ball. Work rate was spectacular.
Viana now into his 5th year with the national team. Just 23 years of age, though. Actually, just turned 24. Currently playing with Valencia, as here comes the 3rd change for Brazil. Gilberto Silva. Crossed in, headed away by Andrade. Fighting is Maicon, looking for the corner kick. Won't get it. All is forgiven at the end. Daniel Alves, the man on the left who's had such a great resurgence with Sevilla. Good looking fullback will be coming in. Meanwhile, we get through these substitutions. A reminder, the England-Spain full international can be seen on February the 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, live here on FSC. Tomorrow at 3, England and Spain. That'll do it for Edmilson. Simão also looking to come in for Portugal. That's it for Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, they booed him all the time, but now they hate to see him go. He really turned this match alight. Just played 2 days ago. In comes Simao.
Good performance from Cristiano Ronaldo. I like the way that he was, not just what he was doing on the ball, but the way he was sharing it, releasing it very quickly, his vision. He's grown a lot even from the World Cup. You can see he's in good form for Manchester United. And this player, Simao Sabrosa, every time he stepped on during the World Cup, I thought that he was injected life into the Portuguese team. Very talented, very technical, good understanding of collective play.
Finally, Chinga was another man who came in for Brazil, and now Daniel Alves will replace Maicon, which is the likely candidate after Juan has been pulled out already.
So I felt that Dunga was going to take out one of the functional defensive midfield players. He did with Edmilson, but it looks like we're not seeing Diego come in.
Back to action. It is Portugal with the introduction of Simao. The recent introduction of Paulo Ferreira looking to break through. Hugo Viana, also coming in. Gilberto digs in and clears on the near side.
Good understanding and great first-time ball from Miguel with the inside of the foot to Simao.
Here is Chinga. Not a young man at 28 years of age, had a long career in the Porto Alegre clubs, originally with Grêmio, then had a run with Internacional, made a move to Borussia Dortmund, and lo and behold, he's back on the Brazil national team. This is his fourth cap. He's down the pecking order, certainly with regards to the strikers and attacking midfielders, but you never know. Dunga likes him. Quaresma's looking to fill the void vacated by Cristiano Ronaldo.
Great movement from Quaresma.
Left a little bit short by Thiago, and here is Brazil. Now we'll see who is the deeper team. Most feel it is the Brazilians. Kaká flicks it. Great play. It falls here for Fregi. Adriano with the header across.
Here's what I love about Portugal, about both teams. Earlier we saw Brazil when they're winning the ball in their final third, they're just launching it out, but Portugal is connecting, passing, combining.
Blocked in the midfield. Very nicely done there by Thiago, keeping his arms to his side. Quaresma against Lucio. To the midfield he runs. It gets trapped in the legs of Lucio. Simao. Postiga. Offside. Elder Postiga. Just a bit. There's Postiga. Briefly in the Premiership with Arsenal's rivals Tottenham Hotspur. Never got to play in this stadium. Wasn't really a good fit for the Premiership, it turns out to be. Sometimes that's just the way it goes. Quaresma chases Lucio, always blanketing the attack. And Martin Atkinson wants a word. And Quaresma continuing the negative verbiage towards Lucio and not listening to the whistles of Martin Atkinson. Oy, 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 oy. Can't do that. And I think Quaresma has every reason to be upset. And there's your man. Diego will be coming in. Let's see if he can make you look good, Christopher. Jose Moutinho, before that, will replace Thiago.
Another great match from Thiago. Both Thiago and Petit did really well, surrounding the central defenders and coming, soliciting, always looking for the ball, giving good balance to the attacking midfield of Deco and the others, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Good match. Now we're seeing a Clásico. A classic number 10. Good match from Fregi. I thought he played well holding the ball. Didn't get into the area enough to finish, but now you got Diego. This is a special one. You think of the players like Zico, the ones that have the fantasy, great dribbling ability, great playmaking skills, orchestrator.
Another guy who came out at a very young age, looked like the heir apparent. Everyone's saying the next what have you. Zico, you mentioned all the names there. Had a little bit of a rough go, but settles in now to his new club at Werder Bremen after he had a nice little spell with FC Porto.
Yep. And he had a tough time in Porto where they were very disciplined in their approach and they didn't really allow that freedom, the flair that he enjoys at Werder Bremen. Franz Beckenbauer was recently saying the difference between Bayern and Bremen is Diego.
That says it all. Best remembered for his start, him and a very young Robinho playing for Santos and getting him to the lofty heights of a Copa Libertadores final one year. A lot of people looked at that team. It was a club that grabbed the attention, grabbed the imagination of a nation with its tremendous group of players that quickly all went to different ports of call due to their success.
I think at some point you're going to see that in the future. You'll see Robinho and Diego again linking up because they have a good understanding of the nuances, intricacies of the way that they play, with a Kaká that has the ability to open up. When they get all their players back with Ronaldinho, Brazil is just incredible.
Diego's just 21, and of course Robinho 22 these days. How they have grown. Teenagers and almost winning a Libertadores trophy one year. Here is Diego, his first work, blocked by Petit. 70th minute, we are scoreless here at the Emirates. Brazil and Portugal, an international friendly. Chinga.
Well done.
Diego. Alves, all the subs getting involved there. Simão. The Benfica winger. To Hugo Viana. Miguel in a tight squeeze gets that ball out to Ricardo Carvalho. Luizão. And over the top by Elano.
Pretty close right there. Instinct was good from Simão.
Diego again. Immediate impact. Elano. Chinga. Daniel Alves. Hoping to lead Sevilla to a Liga Championship, something that no one thought would happen, especially with Barcelona or Real Madrid as chock full of talent as they are. And you certainly can't forget Valencia either. Alves, someone poked away. Diego. We've said so many great things about the the Brazilian back line, but the same could be said about Portugal and what a great World Cup they did. They didn't give goals away too easily.
They were fantastic in the World Cup, not only from a defensive standpoint, but playing out of the back, getting into the attack.
Not a good play by Ferreira. Adriano. Diego. Chinga. Kaká.
And you see the same situation. Good sequence, but the run from Dinga, because he's coming out of the defensive midfield position, was very, very narrow. So he doesn't get the angle coming into goal on that last little combination. And Escolar is trying to make some type of adjustment because since Quaresma has been great in the second half, his runs from the left side, but since Cristiano Ronaldo and especially Deco, they've lost a little bit of the pulse that they had in the first half.
Kaká gets the ball from Diego as the pulse quickens. Daniel Alves looking to cross it. Now instead goes to Kaká. He'll take that responsibility and pass it on back to Alves. Roberto Silva got mighty crowded there. Luizão. Great idea. Gets it to Alves. Firmly handled there by Paulo Ferreira. Brazil push forward again. This is Hugo Viana. Quaresma telegraphed it. Lucio. This is the tempo we saw in the first half. Coming back in the nick of time, Adriano. Shut out for Inter so long with goals. Has scored in 3 of Inter's last 4 games and a few extra goals in the Coppa Italia. Ball back in. Adriano! All right, great ball by Gilberto. Here come the Seleção. Ball lost by Gilberto Silva. Quaresma will get a very valuable free kick as Portugal take some air out of the Brazil attack. Nuno Gomes, a straight switch for Helder Postiga. As we mentioned, Nuno Gomes on the leaderboard and all-time goals scored for Portugal. It really was an era the last 15 years or so where Portugal played a lot of games. Not nearly as many as they did in the 60s and 70s.
Well, I think they need an injection of a little bit of life right here. Maybe a forward like this, Gomes, to come help in deeper positions. Kind of stop the bleeding. There was a great move from Quaresma on the last one in the middle of the field. Spectacular. But Brazil is starting to pick it up. They're starting to feel like there's a surge of confidence, even from the Brazilians defenders, that they have Adriano and Diego in there. They're connecting their passes. They're not looking, and they're just feeling. It's more on intuition. They're starting to get the pulse of intuition through their play in this last little part.
A quarter of an hour to go, scoreless at the Emirates. One thing you would have to say is that with the emergence of Brazil in the last 15-20 minutes, clearly the depth factor, there's a huge advantage for Brazil. All due respect to the likes of Hugo Viana and Jose Moutinho. But they don't provide the punch off the bench that a Diego or an Adriano.
Well, I think the front 6 from Portugal are still doing their part. You know, they're playing very well when they get the ball, attacking, keeping the ball, and so forth. But from a defensive standpoint, it's a little too much for Petit and when Thiago was in there.
Here's a chance. Hugo Viana.
Well done. Relaying the ball very quickly out to Quaresma. They haven't figured that move out yet, have they? Here it is again.
Yeah. It's like getting hit in the knee.
He's got a fluidity that's impressive. Very impressive. You look at Cristiano Ronaldo for all the movements that he has. Quaresma is equally adept.
Quaresma with the calmness with every touch. Certainly when most would panic, keeps a cool head. Out of the reach of Carvalho. Really poorly taken free kick there, which will give possession back to Brazil. Sweeping back, they're making a mistake. Opening the door for Simão, the Benfica player, as he hit it towards Helton. Of course, the player for Porto. This has got to be great for the Portuguese league with so many players in this high-profile match. Manning their trade there in a league that has to be considered one of the up-and-comers, especially based on the successes from Porto in particular the last few years. Sporting got to a UEFA Cup final.
And that's probably one of the reasons why they went with Helton in goal.
Benfica also made a Champions League quarterfinal that long ago. There was Adriano for Diego. Almost. Daniel Alves. Doesn't look like it. Elano. Here's Alves. Tapped from behind by Simão.
You see Diego, even when he's off track, as he entered into the area, is able to pull out without getting caught on the ball. So many times you see the number 10s or the attacking midfielders where they get caught up. But he has that presence of mind to just pull out, redirect, and orchestrate. I don't think he's playing at a super fast pace right now like the other players, as he's coming in the last 20 minutes. But still, I think he's brought a little bit of sugar to the game.
24-year-old Adriano. And the 19 today. Normally that World Cup was donning the number 7, which is being donned on this day by Elano. A new day with Brazil. They had a couple matches to end 2006 following the World Cup. This is game number 1 of 2007.
I'm not sure that was a great movement from the defense right there. Petit was looking for the ball. They decided for the vertical.
Great stop by Miguel. Now Quaresma. Jose Moutinho. Miguel. And just when it looks like Brazil are going to take control, Portugal get right back involved.
It was great.
Petit. This is Hugo Viana, no-look pass, but to an offside Nuno Gomes.
Just inches, but this is good coordination. Again, the understanding, interchanging from side to side movements. They always get a little geometric balance from their players. You just see he's about 2 or 3 yards off. Lucio moves up at the right time. Luisao.
He sang the praises of the subs for Brazil, but the ones from Portugal have also had their moments. In particular, the man wearing the number 10, Hugo Viana. Petit. And we see that the Portuguese players wearing the black armbands. Carlos Silva, the vice president of the Portuguese Football Federation, passed away last Sunday. And that's part of why we had the that was part of the moment of silence at the beginning of the match, as it was a tough weekend for both football federations. Quick ball, Diego Kaká. Still just the 2 yellow cards from the first half on the board for Martin Atkinson.
That was a good tackle from Petit to stay in there and not allow Ricky to get up the field.
Elano, Gilberto Silva. Here's Diego. Gilberto Silva. We had the problems with the Juninhos a few years back. Oh, lovely ball by Elano over the top to Kaká. Adriano got it caught in his spokes for a second, but he does get it wide. Less than 10 minutes to go. Daniel Alves tried to slot one through, blocked by Ferreira. Alves. Kaká. Hugo Viana. Another good ball from him. Simão. Lucio in front of Luizao. Helton, who looks like he's going to get the full 90. It's tough to substitute a goalkeeper. It'll be another day for Julio Cesar, who's had such a great season with Inter. Chinga. Diego. A quality match, and you know, the detractors from this great game, the lack of scoring. Here's a 0-0 game that you can proudly present to them. There's a case where you may not need the scoring. Simão, goal! You don't have to pass the case on now because we have a goal. The volley attempt from Simão, 82nd minute.
Impeccable timing right here from Simão Saurosa. And see again, the pressure on the goalkeeper. We talked about it earlier in the first half. Great win from Miguel. Quaresma is coming. You see the inside run right here. And Gomes is pointing over to Simão, saying, over my head, not to me. Quaresma, great vision right here. Just pinpoint passing. Simão comes, and he's still marked by a man, but keeps the composure to finish. World-class finish right there. Made sure that he didn't overstrike it, so he can keep it down. Great volley.
You better believe it. As he caught the sweet spot, finishing to the far post around Helton, who had had that poor clearance.
And it really is well deserved. I love this player, Simão Sabrosa. Every time he came in the World Cup, I love the way that his intent, the way that he plays the game, the way he goes at guys, the way he gets into the area. But Quaresma has been fantastic in the second half in every aspect. Winning the ball, fighting back, combining, bringing other players into the play. Miguel arrived right at the right time to intervene. They put pressure on the goalkeeper. And you can see the face says everything from Dunga.
Diego, well, 7 minutes roughly for Brazil to save face. Tinga. Kaká. Still so many great players out there despite the rush of substitutions. Gilberto Silva. So many balls blocked by Portugal time and time again. That was Ferreira, who's had a blinding game as well since coming on at the half. Stepping in front of that one, Lucio. Daniel Alves. They'll start from scratch. Elano in the midfield circle. Tinga. Kaká. Only Adriano in front of him, so he has some work to do. Now feeds it up. Ricardo Carvalho has the step and the inside track. Back to Ricardo. Miguel. The goal by Simão. Luizão. Luizão, a teammate of Simão at Benfica. I'm sure we'll hear a lot about that goal in the weeks to come from his club teammate. Kaká.
And now you see Kaká is trying to stimulate something again for Brazil to get a response, a reaction out of the team. 5 or 6 more minutes to get back to where they were about 10 minutes ago, but now Portugal's starting to feel it.
Ferreira. You wish it could go longer, but it won't. Just 5 minutes left here. Diego.
Great ball.
This is on. No, just offside from Adriano. It had to be oh so close.
Nice little slot through pass right here from Diego. Inside drag.
No, not that close
Very
at all.
close. Again, about a meter off. And you see where his eyes were. And that's the connection they're looking for. The more often they give the ball to Diego in that position.
Very well officiated by our English crew tonight. And again, this is no easy game to be the lead official or a linesman. Maybe more importantly, to be a linesman too. The speed intoxicating. Alves, flat ball across. Elano. Diego. Okay. To the right. Nothing brewing as they look for the chink in the armor. Kaká. He's not many better at finding just that. Less than 5 minutes to go. A lot of players have played just portions of the game, a half, maybe 60 minutes. But Christopher, who of those, regardless of minutes played, have impressed you the most?
Well, a lot of great performances today. You see Portugal right now doing what they do so well. Just keeping the ball moving, accelerating the play through their team, keeping the balance. I think for Brazil, actually, let's start with Portugal. In the first half, I would say Deco and Cristiano Ronaldo. Deco definitely was the player. In the second half, so many good performances. Miguel, very good. Simão Sabrosa. But I'd have to say with Quaresma.
Maybe it's a good
second half.
Maybe it's a good overall pick too, because he did have some good minutes in the first half also. Tinga. Lovely touch. Gets it out to Gilberto, and Portugal defensively flex back. Kaká. Bumped by Carvalho. A rare free kick in the second half for Brazil in a favorable position. They got one here. What about the Brazilians?
It's been tough for Brazil. I think that the way Dunga's trying to have them play is much more team-oriented. You're not seeing all the individual flair, and you haven't seen that one player stand out with an incredible match. You thought that it would be Kaká, but I don't really. I don't. I'd have to go with their keeper in the first part.
Diego. Away by the goal scorer Simão. Into the corner, Miguel. Very steady. Did a great World Cup. He, along with Gianluca Zambrotta, fighting for right back of the tournament. Offside.
And they're playing that really tight, but they've been able to pull it off every time. The back line of Brazil, they've been much better pulling out to support. And then here you see, look at the last man right here, how he's going to move forward. That was close.
left for Brazil. Diego. I'm sure not too many people betting against them for somehow coming up with a goal, even at this late stage. Tinga's offside.
And both teams are playing it really tight back there, compact. There's been such a fine line between those last-driven diagonal balls. We saw one time where it got through at the beginning of the match, but all the other ones haven't. They've been close together. Carvalho has been great as well. Actually, you think about it, he's played a good match. There's been a few times where he's made good tackles. One time in the first half when he was out in the left. In the midfield, got back very quickly to recover. See Filipao, those last 5 minutes that are so critical, he's making sure his team doesn't give up a goal. Trying to.
Just look at that giant screen. Certainly Arsenal Football Club have come a long way since Highbury with this new venue.
From a positive standpoint, I think Brazil has shown the cohesiveness in the defense in the reaction that they were lacking in the World Cup, but playing out of the back, really is.
Quaresma put the final touches on his man of the match performance. Hugo Viana, glancing ball, goal! Ricardo Carvalho with an ankle tap in the 90th.
And this is just great football intelligence. Look at this. Brazil, 2 players with their back. They should have been watching the play. Quaresma again is the one plays back for the quick short pass. Viana plays. Great redirection on the half volley on the inside of the foot right here. And Carvalho actually falls down because he knows that that's the way that he wants to strike the ball. What a great strike.
He has no momentum. I mean, his feet are not set. And that's a wonder strike. I mean, that's a one in a million.
Really is.
No balance.
Very technical. I mean, he did that on purpose and fell down because he knew that's the way he had to redirect at the corner. What a goal.
Meirol, pardon me, coming in.
Fantastic second half for Portugal. The way that they responded, the way that they kept the tempo. This was against a Brazilian team that brought a fast pace into the game, and they were able to show their intelligence and their composure.
I don't know if that substitution was in the works before he scored. If not, what a way to go out. And it's turning out to be a comfortable victory for Portugal. Unbelievable final few minutes.
We saw the same thing in the 94 World Cup when Argentina was playing against Nigeria. Nigeria was playing a great match. The 2 defenders, Ucha, turned around, and Maradona played to Canija right in the same area. They went right back the other way. So that surprise found the defender sleeping.
Quaresma.
When most teams would be trying to kill off the clock.
First loss for Brazil in the Dunga era. And it happened a lot sooner than they thought it would. And again, Portugal. This mysterious hold they have over Brazil in these international games. They've won the last 2. They won the most important one in the 1966 World Cup. And they're doing this one, as we said, in comfortable fashion. Gilberto into the 2nd minute of stoppage time. Flick back here to Luizão. And Brazil, the flag has been waved. Alves. And clearly a lot of work to be done in the Brazil camp. Without Ronaldinho and Robinho, who are...
That's another story. Robinho, Ronaldinho, Alex, so many different players. But this is
Portugal's missing a lot of players.
Portugal is making a performance. Maniche, we talked about before, that's not here. Costinha. You look at all the greats, that now they're without Figo, but I think that Deco really stepped into a good position with Figo out. And it showed he was very comfortable, like it was his team, orchestrated very well. I'm impressed with Portugal. I think that if they can take this into the qualifying against Belgium and Serbia, they'll be back on track and could be back in the direction to head up the group.
It's a great game for both these teams to play, even though there's nothing in the immediate horizon of importance. But This is something where you get these players, even in a losing effort for Brazil, some first-rate experience in a top-notch venue with a very involved crowd. As we head into the 4th minute, or do we? Is the handball by Kaká?
A little frustrating for Kaká as well, because he's trying to find that rhythm and that understanding with the other players up front. And you know he would have that with Robinho. You know he would have that with Ronaldinho. And it's difficult. He's a player that opens up. He's like a Ferrari.
That's it. Luis Felipe Scolari against his homeland. Win it again. This time at the Emirates Stadium, and this time by 2 goals. Simão scores the first. Ricardo Carvalho the second. We'll be back as Portugal celebrate.